Hey friends, as promised, I have another book unhaul. I have been going through my books and logging them, deciding if I still want to read them, if I'm interested in them. I do have a pile of books that I think I'm going to do a try a chapter for to see if I'm still interested in them. Most of what I'm unhauling today are nonfiction or fiction that I've read that I know I'm not going to go back to, or if I want to go back to, I'll listen to the audiobook, get it from the library. So there's two big stacks, so let's just jump right in. The first is back from my writing days, The Copy Editing and Headline Handbook by Barbara G. Ellis, PhD. This is, I don't know what edition this is, but back in the day, I would write PR stuff, so I had to have that. Don't need it anymore. This book I've had, and I've heard about it, I've just had it for so long. The Man Who Loved Books Too Much, A True Story of a Thief, a Detective, and a World of Literary Obsession by Allison Hoover Bartlett. It sounds like something I'd be interested in. I'm not interested in it, but I think I'm going to listen to the audiobook, and I don't really need to have a copy of it. This is another one that I do like Bill Bryson. I read A Walk in the Woods, I think last year, or maybe the year before, and liked it. I listened to the audiobook, and I think moving forward with this author, I will be listening to the audiobooks. So I don't necessarily need to have them on my shelves. This is Notes from a Small Island. So I think I'm just going to be listening to Bill Bryson on audio. This is Manhunt, The 12-Day Chase for Lincoln's Killer by James L. Swanson. I've had this for years and have never picked it up. I am interested in these type of books, but again, if I am going to read it, I'm going to do the audio. Blue Like Jazz by Donald Miller. I've heard a lot about it. I've just never felt the need or the desire to pick it up. And again, if I decide later on that I do want to read it, I've heard a lot of great things about it. I think I'll probably do the audiobook. We're seeing a theme here, right? This is a book that I had when I was in grad school that I never actually read. I think I got it at a professional association event or something like that. It's called Becoming Self-Determined, Creating Thoughtful Leaders in a Standards-Driven, Admissions-Frenzied Culture. So it's all research, and this was in, what year were you published? This was published in 2016, and honestly, from an education perspective, the COVID pandemic changed a lot in how we operate. Not to say that this isn't going to be useful for someone, it's just not really going to be impactful for what I am focused more on at work. So, and then a lot of this stuff is also available online via your Galileo or whatever research app your library has. So yeah, don't need to have a physical copy of that. This is A Year by the Sea, Thoughts on an Unfinished Woman by Joan Anderson. Again, I've had it for years, never felt the need to pick it up. Escaping into the Open, The Art of Writing True by Elizabeth Berg. I have read some of this before. It's a writing book. It's a book for writers. Have some bookmarks and stuff in here. And this is Elizabeth Berg has written a bunch of fiction, Talk Before Sleep, Open House. She has a long catalog. I've never been a huge fan of her writing. So do I need, not to say that she doesn't have helpful information for writers. I'm just not sure this is going to be a book that I am going to read. And like I said, I've had it for years. This is The Need for Balance, Body, Mind, and Spirit by Lorraine LaJoy. I don't even know where I got this from. This is about basically how to cope with chronic illness or ongoing health issues. And I didn't ever, it's got a note to someone. I must have picked this up at like a thrift store or something like that, but it sounds more like this is in the more beginning stages of living with chronic health issues, which at this point, I've been living with chronic health issues for about 15 years, I guess. So I'm just not gonna read it. I am also parting with some grief books that I haven't read. When my mom got sick, I did, and this is kind of typical of me, I got a lot of grief books because that was kind of where I was at. And I'm still in a grief place. I always will be for the people I've lost. But at this point, these couple that I'm going to tell you about are just ones that I don't really feel like I'm going to be reading anytime soon, if at all. This is The Resilient Grieving, Finding Strength and Embracing Life After a Loss That Changes Everything. This is by Lucy Hone, and I think this is an older book, 2017. This may be one that I might try a chapter on this one. So we'll put that to the side. This one, Caring for Yourself While Caring for Your Aging Parents, How to Survive by Claire Berman. I'm sure it's helpful, and I'm going to pass along to someone who is in that current situation. I am no longer in that situation. This is In the Kingdom of the Sick by Lori Edwards, A Social History of Chronic Illness in America. I may try a chapter in this one. Lori Edwards wrote a book that was really helpful for me. What is it called? Does it have it in here? What her other book? Life Disrupted, Getting Real About Chronic Illness in Your 20s and 30s. And it was really it was a book that was really helpful to me. And so I ordered this back then, like it came out in 2013, this book did, and I think I ordered it around that time. And I don't know if I'm gonna keep it or not. I have a lot of books about chronic illness, so and a lot of things have changed in the last 10-12 years, so I don't know. We'll try a chapter on that one. This one I think I've thought about getting rid of for a while, but I really think that I will listen to it more likely. And this is Soul Survivor, How 13 Unlikely Mentors Helped My Faith Survive the Church by Philip Yancey. Philip Yancey wrote Where is God When It Hurts? And I've heard a lot of great things about him. I just think I'm gonna probably, if I want to read it on, or listen to the audio. I read this memoir, Hereafter, by Amy Lynn, I think last year. Really liked it. Amy Lynn lost her husband suddenly, and I think he was in his 30s or 40s, and she talks about that experience. I have read it. I've loaned it out to friends, and I think I'm going to pass it on. I may put it in Pango. I may put it in a little free library. We'll see. This is another grief book that I got a while ago. Grieving, How to Go On Living When Someone You Love Dies by Therese A. Rondo. This is more basics about grief, which at this point I've read a lot of grief books, so I'm going to pass this on as well. This book I have read over the years. I've read little snippets of it. I used to do a lot of career counseling, and this is A Matter of Choice, 25 People Who Transform Their Lives, edited by Joan Chatfield Taylor. It's a career type book. And when I did career coaching, I like to have some examples and, talk to my clients about options, think outside the box kind of things. And so I read a lot of books like that. The Elements of Style by William Strunk Jr. and E.B. White. I've read this so many times, and this is my old copy. I just don't, I'm not gonna look back at that at all. This is a book that I read. I've read it several times and read it in school sometime, at middle school maybe. Summer of My German Soldier by Bet Green. I'm just not interested in this. I don't even know if it's still published. It's a really old book. So getting into a few that I have read that I did enjoy. I just am not going to keep them. This is The Sea and Winter by Christine Day. This is about a girl who is a dancer and has an injury and has to recover from that, but also deals with some emotional changes from her situation, her family, different things like that. So pass that one on. I love this one, okay? I love them all abound. Unbound by Aisha Syed. Beautiful cover, right? I'm just not going to read it again. I'm pretty sure I listened to the audiobook on this one as well. So I'm going to pass that one on. And then some that I recently read that I think I told you I was going to pass on is Anna of Cleve by Alison Weir, which is the 4th in the Six Tudor Queen series, and Crime and Punishment. I'm going to be putting in my Pango shop. They're thick books. I've read them, didn't really love them, so we're going to move on. This is also a book that I liked, didn't love, but this is Surviving and Thriving with an Invisible Chronic Illness, How to Stay Sane and Live One Step Ahead of Your Symptoms by Alana Jacqueline. I really like following her on social media, and I like a lot of the things that she shares. She's very open about her chronic illness, and I think that's very helpful for people who are newly diagnosed or dealing with changes. This is a great kind of starter book for people who are just being diagnosed with chronic illness. It was a great audiobook as well. This one is called Under My Bed and Other Essays by Jody Keisner. This I think I just saw online, and I'm huge into love essay collections, and it is about chronic health issues. It's also, the cover photo is a bed that looks like it's got water, and the woman laying face down on the bed is kind of being covered by the water. So under my bed kind of imagery. And these are essays that are kind of about fears, chronic, like I said, chronic health issues, life as a young mother, just different things about the author's life. I liked it, didn't love it. So there's that one. And then this one I'm also going to probably listen to, and this is A Stolen Life, a memoir by J.C. Dugard. This is about a woman or a girl who was kidnapped and kept in a basement for years, for 18 years. And I was really drawn to this story, and learned a lot about it through the news coverage. And I'm very interested to listen to the audiobook. From what I understand, it's very good. So I don't think I'm going to need to own the physical copy. And then the last one is a book that I read, loved, and it's a very cute book, very relatable book. I'm going to pass it on. And that is 4B, The Story of the Beagle Who Changed My Life by Kristen von Kreisler. Very cute book. I love beagles. I miss having a beagle. Not in the cards for a while. Mabel, my dog, is not thrilled with other dogs anymore. So maybe down the road I'll have another beagle, but if you're looking for a cute little dog story, this is a great one. So I think that's about 25 books that I'm getting rid of, going to put on my Pango shop. Some of them I'll put on my Pango shop, and some of them will end up in a little free library. And then 2 that I'm going to try a chapter with. I've got a few more that I'm going to try a chapter with, and we'll probably do a video sharing my thoughts on those books. Let me know if you've read any of these. If you know if any of the audiobooks are really good, let me know. My Pango shop is always listed in the comments below, and it helps to support this channel. I really appreciate you being here. Please consider hitting the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you really soon. Bye.